Hey folks, Duke CT here, back once again with another video game type rant. Last video game rant I had was, well, the Mass Effect 3 thing. And you know what? I got a lot of positive buzz about it, but, I'm going to try, when I try this again, I'll hopefully do something more. Well, not saying the Mass Effect 3 ending crazy, and if it isn't interesting, as it's still going on right now, but this is something that's going to could affect gaming in a new level, something that I doubt a lot of people know or what have you, what type of thoughts they are in. I want to get your thoughts about this because this right here, right now, is going to be very interesting for Sony or what have you. Anyway, speaking of Sony, I'm going to be talking about the new PS4, the rumors of what have you about the PS4. Supposedly going to be coming out in 2013, as you see the article here, as it is at games.yahoo.com/plugged in by Chris Morris, and he got most of his info about everything. It's he got all his info via Kotaku.com, and he says basically this is going to be really interesting. And this is going to be, and then this quote right here, these two paragraphs right here seem to be very interesting about about the state of one of the main things about gaming is the used game market and what have you. Now, let me get this thing right now and get this thing into the nitty-gritty. Let me look at these two paragraphs, and I'll read them to you, and you're gonna see this on your top of your screen right now, and you're watching this on YouTube. If not, I'll read this to you. And I quote, "If you then decide to trade that disc in, the pre-ordered customer picking it up will be limited in what they can do," the site said. While our sources were unclear on how exactly the pre-order customer side of things would work, it's believed used games will be limited to a trial mode or some other form of content restriction, with consumers having to pay a fee to unlock/register the full game. It gets even more interesting after this. If true, that's likely to upset a notable segment of the gaming population, not to mention have a serious impact on retailers like GameStop, who make a tidy profit on the used game market. And Sony could ruffle even more feathers if the system ditches backwards compatibility with the PS3, as Kotaku says it will. So not only this new PS4 is going to not only basically force you to buy the new game or have to unlock the full game by paying more money to it, like say $20 or $30, $40 for a used game. You have to buy more content and everything else. Not only that, but you're going to lose backwards compatibility, something that has been with Sony, and I'm going to be honest with you, something that I think maybe that's a trend Sony started in the home console scene, because before Sony, I doubt anyone did that, because Sony was guys who played the PS1, the PS2, the PS3, and what have you. I mean, Nintendo, well, you couldn't do that with the carts and GameCube, but they can do with the GameCube to the Wii. I don't know what they're going to do with the Wii U. I think they're going to set up backwards compatibility. The Xbox 360, yeah, that's not really compatibility, backward compatibility with that, but they had some games. But with that fiasco, but you can download the Xbox games and originals and such now. But my thing is with this is Sony's really just trying to. I mean, let's all be honest. This seems to be another screw up by Sony, another long line of screw ups. Let's see. Well, because the PS3 started out with a huge price point, which I don't know. I don't know y'all, but I still would never buy like $500 and $600 for a console. No, I had the money at the time to buy it. I just didn't want to buy it on principle alone. I'm like, no, I'm not buying that. Even with principle alone, I'm not going to buy that PS3. In fact, I still don't have a PS3 right now, and I'm planning to get one hopefully this year, and hopefully and everything else. since the price is way down now. But anyway, getting back to the point, it just seems to me Sony is shooting themselves in the foot with this. I mean, how many of us gamers and everything else have used games? Who bought used games? Who have played used games? What have you? A lot of us. In fact, I used not only GameStop but also a site called Guzex.com that trades in the old school games, what have you, old school, new school, old games, what have you, and really have a really good community behind that. And and now what you see here with this, it just seems to me that they're trying really hard to stop the whole used game market, which honestly, this is not the best way to go to get more new fans and more, keeping the gamer fan base interested, because sometimes there is no new games for, say, the used games. Like for example, Metal Arms. I know there's some new copies out there, but I guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, if you want to get a copy, it's going to be used. So under this new time frame of what Sony is or something, say for example a game that did not really sell well, or a game that has like modded cells or something, like, or something new or what have you. Oh, I want to try this game out, I'll buy it used. Like, oh, sorry, you're gonna have to pay you like $20 or $10 or $20 to get the full game. Otherwise, you're just gonna have a trial mode of the game, basically a demo. You just bought a $20 demo. Yeah, that's gonna really go over for the fans. That's gonna really do good. Which sad, and you know what? The sad part is that this is gonna supposedly stop the, fighting against GameStop or what have you. Which it's not gonna help this case. It's not gonna help. Basically trying to basically attack the consumer. That's what the Sony is doing, and I hope that Microsoft and Nintendo, don't follow in this path, which I think Microsoft is leaning towards. I don't know what Nintendo leaning towards this path, because I don't know, because when I do play on the Wii and everything else can use games, I don't have to input a 5-digit code to play, and I get a new Wii title, or new Zelda, or new, I doubt Xeno Saga. Xeno. What's the name of the game? Xenoblade Chronicles. I doubt that. Oh, by the way, I have pre-ordered that game, by the way. So, yay, Operation Rainfall, whatever. I doubt. Anyway, I doubt that you're gonna have to input like a 10 or 12-digit code just to get into it, like what have you. Besides, I think Nintendo already did the whole friend code thing, which, oh gosh, that was a complete debacle. And I think they're leaning away from that. And I think, hopefully with their new system, they might actually be doing the Xbox Live thing, which is a good thing. But, yeah, I'm getting off track here. But anyway, the next PlayStation 3 and the next PS3, the next PS4, I think this is a really bad idea to basically attack the consumer, attack the gamers, so basically buying a used games or what have you. It's not going to really help the situation about the used games. In fact, I think it's going to probably increase, more people. In fact, I guarantee you people will not buy this console. But I want to hear what your thoughts about this. Is this a good idea what Sony's doing? You think, yeah, maybe we need to stop doing this used game thing. They're on the right track. Or you lean toward, from my position, is that this is going to hurt Sony not only in the short term, but in the long term. I want to hear your thoughts about this. That's all I got to say. Duke CT here. Peace and love. I'll see you when I see y'all. And the next two Duke CT Lounge, I will upload the next Duke CT Lounge podcast right after this, and what have you. And the Duke CT Lounge will be live this Friday, and I will be talking about WrestleMania 28, or aka WrestleMania 27 Part 2. I'll be talking about that, the matches, and everything else. Want to join me? Links in the description, how to join me on that, and everything else. Anyway, thanks very much for joining me. Duke, see you. Peace and love. See y'all when I see y'all later.